Hello YouTube. You know me, the Polish Pistolero. I do a lot of shooting. And this is my reloading room. Got it set up halfway decent. What we have first, this one here, is a Lee Pro 1000. Right now it's set up for 40 Smith & Wesson. This here is my wife's shotgun reloading. That's a Mech 600 Junior with the primer feeder. This one here originally was just a 3-hole turret that had manual advance, but I upgraded it to the 4-hole. Okay, and it uses this pin down here to do an automatic advance. Right now I have it set up with factory crimp dies, so I just rotated to whatever, since I was doing 40s last, I rotated to whatever I needed at. I kind of jotted on these. Like that one's 40, 45 ACP, 9mm, and those I do the factory crimp die on my automatics. This one here, another Lee Pro 1000, set up for 45 ACP. And this is my shotgun reloading. It's a Mech 650 progressive. One thing about these progressive presses, they're nice and all, but you really have to stay on top of your game. One little whoops and you got a mess. Either you're dropping shot all over the place or you're dropping powder all over the place. So you got to stay on your game and just keep doing the right thing. On top up here, starting again from my wife's end, the one that I was doing 40s in are generally small pistol primered rounds, and she usually does her 38 special for cowboy in it. But as far as the semi-automatic stuff, I pretty much do it myself. And some of my extra stuff, load books, and dies for my 44 Magnum, dies for the 40, 223 Remington, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP, 9mm, 500 Smith & Wesson. Those are the dies. Those were the factory crimp die boxes. And then down here on this end, of course, the large pistol primers. The ones in the blue box, because of the 500 Smith & Wesson takes large rifle primers, so I only have a couple boxes of those. I don't have a large bulk because I don't do a whole lot of shooting with it. And I've got about 250 rounds of 50 Magnum 500 Smith & Wesson already loaded up, so those are kind of the backup whenever I do need to fill them. And I haven't started doing the 223 yet, but I will be shortly, and those of course take the small rifle primer. These are the powder discs for changing the different powder drops depending on the load. This one on the end here, that's my 9mm setup. Next one's my 500 setup. It's already set up so I don't have to change nothing, just put it in the turret press. And the one on the end is the 38 with the base plate and the powder drop, and it's already set up too for the 38. So we don't have to change the stuff that we do a lot of. 45's already set up. And my 45 long Colt is up here too. This one here is the 9mm plate. On the bottom, those are for the 357 XTPs. That's a box of cowboy lead for the 38 special. Those three blue midway boxes are 9mm 115 grain. Those two are lead safe 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. Those are my 500 bullets. These are my 45 lead. The ones on the top I use for the ACP when I shoot wild bunch. And the ones on the bottom in the brown box are made by a guy in our shooting club. And those are 230 grain lead round nose flat point for the cowboy action stuff. And these are 500 ACP Rainier lead safe full metal jacket. The powder under here, got H110, little gun, and clays for the cowboy action. More bullseye in the big jug. Some Herco for the shotgun for hunting and trail loss. I don't know if you can see this. This is a little coffee bucket of steel shot in triple B for hunting. Red dot powder that's in a coffee bin. And extra shotgun hulls for when we do our reloading and shotgun stuff. And that's about it for this room. Got a little vacuum on the wall, our clock. Yeah, I think we're set up pretty decent in here. And join me in the ammunition room. This is the ammunition room. As you see, there's my RCBS tumbler, which is not the best one in the world. I like the Lyman Pro 1200 better. It's quieter. It seems to get the casings cleaner faster, but it doesn't have an actual cover for it, so I use a plate over the sifter plate just so I don't get dust all over the house. The bottom shelf, these are mostly the hunting rounds. Those are 303 British. These in these two boxes are hunting 357. Number 4 shot, plated lead, 18 grains of clay. Those are hunting for dawn. And these are some hunting loads. Can't quite make out what they are, but they're like 23 grains of clays, I believe. Sorry for the shaking. And number 8 hunting load. Up here, the cowboy action stuff. Those are my 45 long Colt. These are the 45 ACP with lead flat nose. Those are 38s for Sunrise Riders cowboy action stuff. Up here is 500 Smith & Wesson. 2 store-bought, 1 reload, and there's 4 boxes of 50 reload. 45 ACP, 44 Magnum, 44 Smith & Wesson, 9mm, 22s, and some 223s. Up here are boxes. These are empty right now because everything is loaded. But the front boxes are all non-tumbled, whether they're in 45 Colt, 44 Mag, 500 Smith & Wesson, 223 Remington, 38 Special, 45 ACP, 40 Smith & Wesson, 9mm. And the ones behind it are the ones that would be already tumbled. But like I said, they're all done already. On top, We've got loaded shotgun shells. Most of the stuff up here is all for cowboy action. The stuff on the left is mine, but it's pretty much all loaded the same, 7/8 number 8 shot with 16 grains of clays. And my wife's is on the other side, again 7/8 16 grains of clays, but they're run through 2 different presses, so we keep them separate. She keeps hers, I have mine. I usually shoot green STX hulls. She shoots red Winchester AA hulls. Kind of keep everything separate. Some extra 357 brass in the plus P brass that we haven't loaded yet, but that's just kind of sitting on the back burner. Some shotgun shells that are not loaded, but they are pre-primed. And we've got our shell bags for when we do our cowboy action. Sunrise Rider and me, Polish Pistolero, and our holsters. Mine's on the right, hers is on the left. And there you go. Anyway, we'll talk to you here in a bit. Here I am back in the reloading room. Okay, just so you guys are understanding what we got here. These are interchangeable turrets. Okay, 4-hole turrets. And this one here, like I said, is just a factory crimp die. Okay. The 500 Smith & Wesson, the plate to be able to use it in the Pro 1000 is extremely expensive. So I'm not going to actually be making any ammunition. Okay. As you see, with every cycle of the arm, it rotates the turret. So this one blank one would be when you're doing pistol, you have your bullet seating die, and then you go to the factory crimp die and on. But these are way faster than I just come back and do the factory crimp die separately. But as far as why this one rotates like this is because of this little bar. This little bar, if you see, it's got a spiral on it, and it's a square head that fits inside the turret. Without it in, okay, it doesn't rotate. So then I just manually turn these to whichever die I need to do the factory crimp die. Like I said, this one's already set up for the 500. It's got a double disc kit in it. Okay. I did do the upgrade so I can turn on and turn off the powder. So to change the disc is just a matter of turning this off, loosening this, changing a disc, putting it back on. So it's not a real big deal. The dies are already preset for the way I run the bullets, the amount of crimp, and so on. But like I was talking about these bullets, like I said, this is a lead round nose flat point. It is .452 in diameter, but in an ACP that'll crush down just fine. And of course the find one. I don't have one handy, but y'all know what a regular full metal jacket round nose for a 45 would be, I hope. Anyway, reloading is fun, but it is responsible. You cannot just guess at stuff. There are several different publications that are reputable for the bullet weight, for the case. size, firearm, however you're going to be shooting it. Look closely. If you're loading, say, 44 Magnum in a 2-inch barrel stub nose, as opposed to loading 44 Magnum in a 8 3/8 inch barrel in a Raging Bull, you need to know that you're going to get way more pressure because it's going to have more time for it to expand. So if you're using the same load in your 2-inch, may not work in the 8-inch. Just things to keep in mind. I'm not telling you what to do, but just be careful. Before you do start doing reloading, do a lot of research, reading. Don't even start until you've completely understood what you're doing. Start slow. I've got progressive presses, and I started with progressive presses, and I probably should have started with a single stage press. But now I've been doing it for a while. I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing. I don't chance things. I don't make duplex loads. I don't experiment by, well, let's try a little this and a little that and see what happens. That'll kill you. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, as we got, like I said, the things, this room is all set up strictly for the reloading. Empty boxes are back in the closet. Loaded, unloaded bullets, just the raw bullets are down here. Extra shot is down here, and of course you can see her press for the shotgun is not on hers. It's just sitting back in its bottle. Mine's sitting up ready to go whenever I'm ready to load with it. But if you have any questions, if anything you want me to show you or try to help explain to you, leave a message down below. Like, subscribe, share. Really appreciate it. And you got the Polish Pistolero here. Going to be going to a shoot tomorrow, so maybe I'll get some videos from it. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you again.